think whatever form of exercise you're willing to do, you're right. It is medicine for the brain. I think that there's been a bias in the medical literature for aerobic exercise only because it's a lot easier to get a mouse to run on a treadmill than it is to get that mouse to lift weights. It's just not. If you could think of trying to convince a mouse to do some like squats or curls, it's just like it's not as easy. So I think from that standpoint, it's just a lot easier for scientists to kind of like see what changes are happening in the brain after aerobic exercise. But I think that if anything, resistance training is going to be even better for you because you get that aerobic aspect to it, especially if you have like shorter rest times between your sets. But then also, it's one of the best ways to bolster metabolic health is to put more muscle on your body. In fact, Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, she's a brilliant, she's a protein expert, super brilliant woman.
Muscle-centric medicine.
I love that. Yeah, I just love that term that I heard from her for the first time, which I think is really cool. So doing what you can to put on as much muscle as you can, super important. Boosts insulin sensitivity better than, to my knowledge, anything else. Having more muscle on your body allows for greater glucose disposal potential when you do eat, the carbs and sugar that make their way onto your plate.
You're more resilient.
More
carb tolerant.
Yeah. Also, muscle produce myokines. BDNF is one of them, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor. So it's like sort of been referred to as the miracle grow protein that keeps your brain youthful, keeps it plastic.
Well, go into the Alzheimer's connections to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So BDNF is reduced in Alzheimer's disease by, I believe it was about 50%. According to the Framingham Heart Study, I think they looked at BDNF and don't quote me on that, but yeah, BDNF, I believe BDNF is reduced by about 50%, which is sort of about the same degree of glucose metabolism deficit that you see in the brain of people with Alzheimer's disease. But basically, BDNF, it's this protein, it's a growth factor that promotes the survival of your existing neurons. So it protects your existing neurons and it promotes the growth of new ones. So neurogenesis in the brain's memory center, the hippocampus, is all sort of encouraged and enabled by BDNF. And it seems to be expressed mostly when we stress our bodies, either via exercise or fasting, which is super interesting. So whatever that exercise modality is that you want to do, I think you should do it. I mean, again, the most of the bulk of the weight of the research is in favor of cardio, but I've seen studies that have shown that there's a upregulation of BDNF with yoga, with sitting in a sauna. Sitting in a sauna can boost BDNF as well.
It's tricky though. You can lift and get cardio too, right? Like sometimes you don't. If you're trying to get mass, you can do these big, powerful sets, but you can do longer sets and still get cardio. I don't know. I know that's like a subtlety, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, totally. I bought a jump rope also. I've been jumping rope and it's been great. So I'm not like a big proponent of like those long bouts of cardio, what Mark Sisson calls like chronic cardio. Instead, I think it's important to resistance train. I don't think people can hear that enough, especially when you zoom out and you look at the population at large. Like most people are not, like most people who need it most are not actually resistance training. And also, rather than do cardio, just incorporating more movement in your day. So non-exercise physical activity, I think is crucially important from the standpoint of brain health, from the standpoint of body composition. And that is just like anything that you do other than sitting on your couch watching Curb Your Enthusiasm reruns, which is like pretty much how I would choose to pass my time if I didn't realize the value of non-exercise physical activity.